Hey guys, welcome again! In the last section, we developed our first AngularJS application, but it was a very simple one, with a single view and a very simple model. In this section, we're going to build a second application. This time, however, we're going deeper into the framework and we're going to learn how to deal with complex models, HTTP requests, multiple views and controllers, routes, and services. I'll call this new application we're about to start Movie Database, and it will be a movie catalog with advanced filtering options, a movie details page, and much more. But instead of just talking about it, let's go ahead and build it. We're gonna kick off this application exactly as we kick off the last one, by using the Angular seed boilerplate. Let's copy the clone link, then let's go to our command prompt or to our terminal, and let's create a new folder for our project. Then let's use git clone to copy the Angular seed project again. After git finishes cloning, let's go to our text editor and open our project folder. Then let's clear up the application example again. Let's remove everything from index.html. Let's remove indexasync.html entirely. Then let's remove the contents of app.js and app.css. Let's also remove the view1 and view2 directories. Then let's open up the components directory and clear it out as well. Now let's head to index.html and start laying it down. Let's start with HTML, tag, language English, and then let's name our application MovieDB using the ng app directive. After that, let's add ng controller catalog controller, which will be the name of our controller. Then let's add a head, a body, separate those. Let's add the meta character set tag and then a title to our page. Let's call it AngularJS Movie Database and a link to our application CSS. Near the end of the file, let's add our JavaScript imports. First, let's import AngularJS, then app.js, and then a file named catalog/catalog.js. This will be the file to contain our first controller. Then let's go on and create it. Let's create the catalog directory and the catalog.js file. The reason we're creating this file is that, unlike the previous exercise where we had a single controller in a single file, this time we're going to have multiple controllers located in multiple files. It is a good practice to have a directory to contain each component of your app. In this case, the catalog screen gets its own directory that for now will contain only the controller and later the template and the test files for the catalog screen. Then let's go to app.js and actually register our application. We're gonna use Angular module, we're gonna call our application MovieDB, and let's include a new module called moviedb.catalog. Now let's go to catalog.js and create the catalog module. Let's use the Angular module again, call it moviedb.catalog, pass no dependencies, and let's register a controller in it. Let's call it catalog controller, because that's the controller we want to be in charge of our catalog page. Let's add the scope service as dependency, and now we're ready to start our controller. Now that we have our blank application wired up, we want to add a few more things. First, let's include the Bootstrap CSS framework, like we did last time, so we can deal more easily with CSS. This time, instead of downloading the CSS manually, let's do it a different way. Let's go into our bower.json and let's add Bootstrap as a dependency for our application. Let's leave the version blank so it gets the latest version. Now you're ready to go to your terminal or your command prompt and do an npm install. Again, this can take a minute, but once it's done, you can go back to your index.html and add the tag to import Bootstrap. Let's add a link, and the reference is Bower components, Bootstrap, dist, css, bootstrap.css. And that's it. Bootstrap's now part of your application. And now we are all set for a clean start. Before jumping in the application logic, however, there is one more thing we need to add to our project. If you want to build the movie gallery application, then we're going to need some movies to work with. Among the files provided for this course, there's a folder called exercise 2 assets. And inside that folder, we have two subfolders. The EMG folder that contains images of movie posters and the JSON folder. The JSON folder contains two files, movies.json and genres.json. Those files contain the models we're going to use into our application and will basically work as a local database for our app. We're going to analyze the anatomy of these files in the next video, but for now, we only need to include them into our project folder. So let's grab both folders and copy paste them directly to our app folder. And now we're ready to move on. In the next video, we're going to learn how to deal with those files and how to request data in AngularJS using the HTTP service. I see you guys there.